In continuation of our lesson, and given the time constraints, I will only give you three landmark cases um, on lawyer discipline or related to lawyers. Now, the first one, let's be quick because I only have very few minutes. The Miranda versus Alvarez case, and this is related to the rules on notarial practice. And the complaint filed against the lawyer or the notary public is that the lawyer maintained multiple notarial offices and notarial registers, and no reports were filed before the court, although lawyers or the notary public are to comply with the reportorial requirements. And upon the expiration of the notarial commission, the notary public did not surrender the register and the seal. Now, the question is, should the respondent be liable? The Supreme Court said that yes, the notary public should be liable because notarization is invested with public interest, and he should be complying with the 2014 rules on notarial practice. And the court specifically said that the notary public here violated Canon 1 and Canon 7. And let me read here. Canon 1 says, a lawyer shall uphold the Constitution, obey the laws of the land, and promote respect for law and legal processes. And as to Canon 7, it says that a lawyer shall at all times uphold the integrity and dignity of the legal profession and support the activities of the integrated bar. Now, this one is a reflection of the legal, or it's a part of the legal profession, being a notary public, and no notary public could be qualified, or a person could not be qualified as a notary public unless he is a lawyer. So this is really a legal part of the legal practice. Now, although not all lawyers are notary public, you have to remember that again, notarization is invested, or it's coupled with public interest. Now, what was the penalty imposed on the lawyer? He was suspended for 2 years from the practice, and his notarial commission at the time of the decision was revoked, and he could no longer be qualified as a notary public, even if he reapplies. Now, the second case is also related to uh, lawyers. This is the famous Bello Henares case, in which Dr. Bello, we know everyone knows Dr. Bello, the famous Bello group of companies. Now, Attorney Guevara made some posts on Facebook maligning, allegedly insulting and throwing abusive words against Dr. Bello. So Dr. Bello filed an administrative case against him. And in his defense, he said that I have the right to privacy because the posts were made in my private Facebook account, and Bello was not among my friends, and she should not have access. So the Supreme Court said that the lawyer should be held liable, and in fact, the posts were never denied, and the defense could not be even accepted by the Supreme Court, given that lawyers may be disciplined even for any conduct committed in their private capacity. So it's a reflection of the character of the lawyer. So although the penalty is not that severe as that of disbarment, but still the Supreme Court imposed a penalty of 1 year suspension from the practice and stern warning. So you have to be careful with what you post, especially if it is against someone, it's maligning or demeaning to someone. Now, the last case I'm sharing would be the Iyala case. Actually, when I was in law school, I call it the love letter case. Actually, it revolved around a love letter written by Attorney Iyala to the complainant's then wife in the name of Irene. And actually, the affair was found out through that love letter. It was confirmed using that love letter. Now, Attorney Iyala did not even deny the existence of the affair, and he even said that it was not scandalous. In fact, it was in a discreet situation. In fact, only their inner circle of friends knew about it. And also, Attorney Iyala did not deny being the father of the child born out of that extramarital affair. Actually, at that time, Attorney Iyala was married, and the complainant was then married to the woman to whom like who was then having an affair with Attorney Iyala. Now, as to the response or liability of Attorney Iyala, the Supreme Court said he is liable, and it doesn't matter even if the complainant's marriage with that certain Irene was declared void ab initio. And also, the withdrawal of a petition for review in a criminal case does not even bar the continuation of the administrative case, because the civil, criminal, and administrative cases related or involving lawyers are totally separate and independent from each other. So, the Supreme Court said that the respondent committed gross immoral conduct, and he was indeed disbarred, and the decision was effective immediately. So, to the young lawyers, you should go back to your code of professional responsibility, the rules that you must follow, especially we are lawyers, and it's ironic if lawyers do not follow rules. Now, but you should not be overwhelmed, because you will learn to live with it, and it's gonna be in your system following the rules. So you just have to be careful, and again, even in your private or personal life, the Supreme Court can look into that, because we have to uphold the legal profession. Thank you for listening, and again, congratulations.